What's up, guys? I am getting pretty tired of these working in the shop winter vlogs. I'm just tired of them. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm so ready to be gone out of this winter wasteland here. It is, what time is it here? I don't got my phone on me. It's 1 o'clock and I'm leaving to Winnipeg at 4 o'clock. So still got to go home and finish up packing and I guess shower, get cleaned up, and then I'll be on the road. Just tidying up some loose ends here at the farm. Yesterday I was kind of a little stressed out with all the stuff that I felt like I had to finish up yet before I left for 2 months. Super blessed that I can leave for this long. But yeah, I was stressed out yesterday thinking about all the stuff that I had to get done, and then I just put my head down. The camera was having technical difficulties, so I just put that away. And I put my head down and I just got at her. So the shop is in decent shape where I don't feel like there's anything out of place right now. I did a big cleanup. I got the dually in here in case Corey needs a vehicle. This is 100% ready to go. There's fuel in the slip tank if he's ever in a pinch and needs fuel. I left him the fuel card just in case he's gonna have to fill up the semis, but this is here in case he needs it. Same with this, snowblower and tractor, right here, ready to go in case he needs it. He's a one-man show and I kind of feel a little guilty, but I mean, there's only 20,000 bushels of grain left to haul and then all the shop work's done and there's nothing really else to do other than, if I get a bite on one of those tractors to sell, then he can come out and plug it in and I guess give him a tour of it. Maybe I'll have to pay him commission. Commission on the sale if he's really working for it. See if he can be a sales guy when I'm gone. So, but yeah, no, I cleaned up the bench, cleaned up this area over here. Everything is just in place. So, yeah. Gone for 2 months. It's not an insignificant amount of time for me to be gone. I don't think last time I was gone for this long, I was in fucking Australia for 8 months, and that was right out of high school. And I've always and right after I got back from there, I went to from Australia. I went to school and got my diploma. And the first year, I did this 2-year program. The first year, I got a job with Pioneer Seed. And then I started being a sales rep and growing that business for the last 10 years until last year. And I got out of it. And then I started farming kind of my, 3 years before I quit Pioneer. And now I'm on my 6th crop or something, 6th crop. But I had a hard time taking vacations. And the 1 year I left for a 2-week vacation this is in 21. First vacation I ever took since I was in Australia, that was 10 years prior. And I went to Mexico. And that changed my perspective on everything. And honestly, ever since then, I've had a really hard time coping and feeling the drive to build my business. Because after you do something like that, for whatever reason, taking that trip really kind of changed my perspective on just my outlook on business and life and stuff. It's what am I doing? I enjoyed it so much, and getting off the farm and how much that really just mentally reset me. I'm working all the time isn't the answer. When I'm here, not only did it reset me, it mentally messed up my entrepreneurial, drive because maybe my goals had shifted. My whole goal in life had shifted after that. Being the biggest business owner and a tycoon in my industry it wasn't as important anymore. And so I've definitely noticed a big shift in my goals and what I want out of life. And that's really progressed every year since then. But yeah, I don't know. So now taking 2 months off, I'm gonna be still working, taking my laptop and doing the YouTube stuff down there. But as far as, there's only so much you can do in the office with your farm. You can do a lot of planning and a lot of organizing and business building and getting on the phone and talking to potential people to rent their land or business dealings you want to do or market expansions and stuff. there's no scale, like scope to, or limit to what you can do with a farm business. It's just, I don't know, I plan on doing a lot of fishing down there and enjoying, I guess, my life down there. It feels like I'm getting so existential right now. But there's something to be said about the wheelchair too. Like I feel like I work twice as hard throughout the year than I used to, just get everyday life, getting around and stuff. And I just get burnt out every year. Even now it's like, I mean, I'm not doing a whole lot, but I can't walk through that snowbank to go, I don't know, walk out to that skating rink and shit and go skating, or like go skidooing whenever I could go skidooing and whatever I want. Maybe these are just excuses, but I don't feel like I have the freedom in the wintertime. Down there I do. I feel like I can do anything down there. But I'm gonna get this truck kind of in decent shape. I mean, my truck's falling apart, but every time I take it on a trip like this to Winnipeg, it's only 2.5 hours away, but I have a hard time just jumping in it and going because there's always something wrong with this truck. It's rattling on every end. So I'm gonna check the transmission oil, engine oil, just probably check the air pressures. I'm having a low tire on one tire, but yeah. And then I give my brother-in-law, he's gonna be driving it home, so I just wanna make sure he doesn't have any issues with it on the road, so. But yeah, highways are shitty after yesterday's melting temperatures and the snow blowing, and I saw there was a rollover on the highway, so Corey's been taking gravel roads. Better traffic, or better road conditions on the gravel, surprisingly, but maybe not surprisingly. Yeah. What else? I got the rat nest of power cords. Take these out actually and fold them all up and roll them up. We had these over at my place plugging in all the equipment over the last couple weeks, and now we won't have to charge them anymore because all those trucks have been started and through the shop, and the dually's in here now, so yeah, it's good stuff. I still got to get some American money. Do you have to let the what's it called? The credit card people know when you're leaving the country anymore? I mean, I bought my plane tickets with the credit card, so I mean, they should technically know, right? That I'm out of the country. It's like the last day. I feel like this is gonna be like the last day of winter for me, because I'm coming back. It's not uncommon for like the middle of March to be like nice temperatures. I know my birthday is the 23rd of March, and I'm gonna be coming around back home like I think like the 17th or something. So, I mean, it's not uncommon for me to have like no snow on the ground on my birthday. And I fucking hate winter. This is gonna be amazing. But then it's also like, it could also be like -30 in March, and March goes out like a lion and just blizzards and shit. But there's enough snow out there. I think it's gonna hang around a little bit this year, so it's not been the warmest either. Like, I've been doing everything here, like just everything's organized now. I left the receiver in case he's gotta move the auger. I don't know, gas cans are full. This whole bench has been kind of cleaned off. It's a little cluttered, but so nice that whole area over there is all cleaned up. If you can see that, I'm so happy that whole area over there is cleaned up. I'm happy that the trucks are in the shop. Everything's warm and can be this whole week is basically just me preparing for Corey to have issues, when I should just be trust our maintenance and that everything's gonna go right and whatever else. But I guess that is also, or expect the unexpected. So I was going to drive there, and I'm kind of happy I'm not now, seeing I don't know, like if I was to drive, I don't know if I could commit to a certain time to get out of here. Like I feel like I would just drag it on and on. I'll leave tomorrow, or I'll leave the next, like whatever. This way, if you have a hard like plane ticket, you kind of gotta go. So I don't think I'd ever actually leave. burning a little bit of, well, actually, no, it shouldn't be, it might be burning a little bit of oil, but I had this in the shop the other day, and they changed the oil cooler lines. They were leaking. And that should have fixed our leaks. So that's nice. That's nice to know. Let's use this one. This one looks good. No, it doesn't look good at all. This one looks good. Yeah, we're gonna take this. We'll use that. 020. I love this whole setup that we got going on here. And we got like everything going on here. We got like, God, this is one of the more exciting parts of like just farming for me now, that we have just like, it seems like a limitless supply of just supplies that we just have kicking around. Like this whole, like, when we first started, we were scraping by on everything just to like, because we were paying off loans with loans, and like you didn't have any extra anything when we first 3 years. So like the fact that we've got in a cash position where we can buy supplies and just shop equipment ahead of time, like it's just amazing to me. Like we got like all sorts of spray paints and like adhesives and penetrants and so like sprays of all kinds, and then freaking like, I don't know, just so blessed I can afford all my Milwaukee tools. Jesus, it's just an obsession. And then like, yeah, under here, who needs this much? We buy boxes at a time of brake clean. Before, I was so cheap, we would have a bucket of gasoline on the ground to like clean all of our, if we ever needed to clean something with a solvent, we would just use gasoline in a bucket. But yeah, every kind of oil. 80/90 gear oil, some synthetic, 8140, 4830. This is 1030. That's for the sprayer hydraulic oil, actually. Bunch of ATF and fucking, what else? Power steering fluid, 2-cycle chain oil, or no, 2-cycle gas oil. And then what do we have in there? 020? Or was it 520? 540. This is 020. Yeah, this is for my truck. Okay. Yeah, that's when farming got fun, though, is when you could go to the shelf and just like, oh, we need brake fluid, and we got some sitting right there. Like, it's great, dude. It's so good. Or just the tools. Or just having the tools. Or even, the right tractor. Like, we just got a snowblower this year. And a front wheel assist tractor to use this with a 3-point hitch. Like, this is the first time I've ever had this on my farm. And the fact that we can, like, afford it, and, like, these little incremental steps, like, God, 3 years ago, I was like, that's a $60,000 tractor, and this is like, what, a $5,000 blower? The fact that I have that invested just to move snow, like, the tractor sitting out there is like $40,000 tractor, and it can't push, it just pushes. Like, it's just small incremental steps every year. But to look at this where I'm at from like 5 years ago, it's like, oh God, it's going to be so shitty because I'm going to be paying off. You just don't think your situation's ever going to change. You kind of get in that really toxic mindset where paying off loans, and it's just so depressing and like just demoralizing that you don't feel like you're ever going to get out of there. But if you just keep going and believe in what you're trying to do, just small steps, just one thing at a time, and then you'll be looking back and be like, oh my God, look where I came from. You might not realize it in the time, but it's so important to take those like 2 seconds to just appreciate where you came from. But yeah, that's my motivation for the day. Like, look at just a toolbox full of, like, who needs 6 hammers? All like, man, I'm just taking a moment of gratitude right now. Like, I have a welder and I can weld all the stuff I want. We used to take everything to the guy in town to weld, and now I'm like, how did I ever go without a welder? I remember the time, first year we got a farm torch, and because we needed to start cutting shit. And then now all of a sudden we've got one on the truck as well, on the back of the truck. Look at our shop, like, dude, God, take 2 seconds to just look back and appreciate where you've been and what you got, and swear to God, it'll lift you up, man. Just think, and then just to find that gratitude where you're at, if you don't feel like you're ever enough, now, seeing how far you came, now look forward 5 years. At the scale of the rate at which you grew the last 5 years, that will feel like nothing compared to the next, because it's all exponential growth, right? Like, it's always slow the first, and then it exponentially grows. So just think of how far you're going to be in the next 5 years. Like, it's going to be unrecognizable. If you just keep fucking just doing what you're doing. Now, that said, I feel like ever since I started going on these vacations and I went to Mexico, my mindset has shifted as far as business goes, but I don't know. My health was a huge investment. I wasn't investing as much time in the business. I invested in my health. That will pay me dividends, because at the end of the day, it's like, you can't take money with you when you go. Your businesses, I mean, it's going to make your life easier if you're making more money, but if you don't invest in your health, you won't have that much of a life, right? You're going to die sooner and feel sicker while you're on this planet. So that's one investment I am definitely not taking for granted, even though I'm feeling a little bit less. I'm not seeing the returns in the business because I'm not investing as much time in the business as I used to. And I'm investing more time, allocating more time to my health. I'm definitely seeing returns on my health. It's just, you're not going to be seeing it as financially as every minute you invested into your financials situation. You're going to see different returns on those investments. And I'd like to think that, and I think I will see actually returns financially from my health investment. You know, sharper, clearer thinking, if you're making better decisions because you're feeling better and you're less depressed and anxious, I feel like that's going to be a big one. But yeah, let me get back to doing what I'm doing. Fuck, I didn't think I was going to have any content today because I had all this work done. But dang, I'm being like a motivational guru today. I don't know how much to do. Maybe a liter. Let's try that. She's good. She's good. Didn't need that much. It is hard, though, I will say, to not compare yourself to others, right? Especially if you're a farmer, you're always window shopping, looking over at your neighbors of what they have. And if you feel like you have less than them, which good chance you do, because if you're just starting out like I am, you don't have, if you look across, there's very few first-time generation farmers out there to start with. And if you're comparing yourself to someone who's inherited everything from their dad and they inherited everything from their dad, then you got, multi-generational wealth against you. So you're playing a different game. And just think, though, how many third and second generation farms fail, right? Just because they were born into it, they don't have the same drive to carry it on like the people who started it out. And if that's your goal to make it is kind of sad though, if you're starting your farm now because you want your kids to enjoy or to farm too, and like that's my dream I had a dream to carry on my grandpa's farm and my dad, and then me, and then eventually my kids take it over. But how sad would it be if you're like the last one in that lineage I mean, it's no fault of yours, but yeah, I guess people make up their own decisions on what they want in this life, but yeah, it's like that whole Yellowstone movie really messed me up when, even though none of the kids really wanted to take over that farm. The one who did died in the first season. So, that's crazy. But yeah, those second, third generation farms, like they, eventually they'll come to an end. Someone in that lineage isn't gonna wanna farm, so I feel like if you just do what you wanna do in this life and try to set up, because you can't take it with you when you go, so you definitely gotta be thinking about that. Do you wanna leave it to somebody or just fucking live off it for the rest when you're retirement? You know what's crazy is in one of the last videos, I was mentioning how I was kind of in a bit of a, I'm selling a lot of grain and I'm selling it for less than I probably would normally like to go down. Like my target price on canola was 14 bucks. Anything over that I would sell. And same with the wheat, 8 bucks is my target. But the last few weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks here, I've been selling, and even before Christmas, I've been selling like at wheat canola was like $13.75, $13.85. Wheat was like $7.75, $7.78, $7.95. Like I never was hitting my target, and usually, if it was under that, I would not even, I wouldn't even entertain the idea of selling. And I'd be like, no, it's gonna go higher, it's gonna go higher, because I'm still kind of living in that COVID kind of like after effects where it's like, oh, we're gonna see another bump. We gotta see a bump, because there was a lot of volatility there. And it just seems like we're not really seeing, it's very stagnant, the price. We're not seeing any big jumps up and down. And you know what? I'm like, I don't want to pay interest on anything. And there's no gains in me carrying the market and like having grain in the bin. The risk of it being in the bin and going rotten, or like just even sitting in the bin, not appreciating, not seeing the price go up. It doesn't make sense because my interest is going up every year. It's still every month. It's still a cost. That's a recurring cost. And I started to think like, you know what? I got some bills due. I'm not seeing much gains in the market. I might as well just start selling grain. Just at least just to pay off the interest. And because last year I was like in this sense where, you know, the price got to go up, price got to go up. And then all of a sudden, when I went down to Florida last year, price went down. And I lost a few $100,000 just within a week. And I was sick. The anxiety and depression that took over, oh my God. Like it did not make that trip enjoyable at all. And then I started thinking, it's like, that could happen this year. And I'm happy with the price relatively, so let me just sell, and I'll sell some. And then and I was like, oh, I'll keep the rest for 14 bucks or over $8 wheat. And I'm like, then it's like, another bump. Like it just kept occurring, and I'm like, you know what? I'm happy with that price. I'm happy with it. I just got to tell myself I'm happy with the price, because I would have been pissed if the price had gone down. And guess what? The price dropped like, oh fuck, it's like tanking right now. The wheat's kind of stagnant, but the canola is absolutely getting shit kicked today and yesterday. And I'm like, you know what? The fact that I sold 80% of my canola makes me feel really good about myself. And that's all I told myself, was just like, sell every time it's green. Any day it's green, just sell a little bit, sell a little bit, sell a little bit. And then by the end, I don't know the quantities of how much I should sell every time it's green, because every day could be a green day, but like a little bit, like little gains. You're not going to sell every single day. But yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with the situation that I'm in right now with the grain I've been selling. So, God. This is a new cord, and it's like tight little weeds. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say was I kind of had the feeling that, we were going to be in a repeat of last year. The price could tank away, and then I'm going to be sitting on low value grain, and I'm going to have bills to pay. and I'm gonna have to be forced to sell it a low. But now it's like I got those same bills to pay. It's just I've already sold that grain and I've got the money in the bin, money in the bank. So maybe I can give some advice to somebody. If you got bills, or if you don't feel like money in the bin, grain in the bin is money in the bank. That's a huge takeaway that I've had in the last year here. Especially if you're taking that canola grower cash advance that they give you based on the grain you've got stored. Oh my God, is that ever risky? Because you get that money and you get this kind of invincible feeling that, you know, I got that money. It's already there. It's already in your bank account. And then all of a sudden, you don't got the money to cover your bills because the price of grain dropped. It's just a shitty situation you're going to be in. So I told myself those cash advances can be pretty dangerous pretty quick. So I try to use them very little, if at all. But they were a huge reason why I started farming. Would not be farming without that cash advance. So if you guys don't farm, just know that farmers in Canada have access to cash. Based on if they have grain in the bin and they haven't sold it, they can leverage that. And the more I get, the more I get older, I start thinking like, man, I see why all these old boys don't like, taking on big loans and shit. Just the risk associated. And I mean, if you're taking, I don't know, I'm starting to get that. I feel like you have to borrow money to make, to grow wealth quickly, to play that, leveraging that capital. But I don't know, man, there's something to just growing your own money and being happy with that. That's kind of gets me excited now in my old age. This is why I got that retractable extension cord from Princess Auto. God, it's so much nicer. That one's kind of burnt, honestly. I should be rebuilding this cable, but I'll just fold it up for now. Yeah, those other ones, they just reel up by themselves. The ones on the wall that I used to plug in trucks with, I want to get another one, maybe a little longer, but it's just so much more convenient having those on the walls. Plugged into power already. That's a downside to rolling your cables up like this, is they're just going to be a knotted mess when you go to use them. You need, when I worked for a guy, a stonemason, he taught me a way. He was a trades guy. He taught me a way to roll his cables up, and I forgot how he did it, but I did it every day because we were using extension cords every day for power saws and stuff, stone saws. And I've forgotten the ways he taught me. It's almost like you grab the cord from two ends and go back and forth around your elbows or something, and then you take the end and then you wrap it around, and then you can also hang it from that loop or something. It's very, very. And then when you want to go use it again, you just pull the one end and then chuck the cord, and it's just perfectly not knotted. Don't ask me how I did it. I don't know. All right, good shit, dude. Truck's done, shop is in great shape. The yards are all blown, the grain is getting moved. I'm feeling really good about leaving now. My heart, not nearly as full of anxiety as it was a week ago this time. I would have liked it if the other grain truck was sitting here and being able to be used if the blue truck goes down, but hey, it's not. It's at the best spot it's going to be, at that truck shop, and when they get done with it, they're going to take care of it. When they get done with it, they'll give me a call, and I'll let Corey know that if we ever need, it's going to sit there until we can get a ride out there, or Corey can get a ride out there. But at least I know that if we have issues with a blue truck, that's in good hands, and it'll be ready in a week. So as long as the auger works and doesn't blow up or nothing, I think we'll get the grain hauled off in good time, get all our income tax filed here in the next month. While I'm going to be away doing that stuff, I'll just be sending all my shit over to the accountant and stuff. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. So we'll check back in with you later, and if not, we'll see you in Florida, I guess. No, tomorrow's a new day. I'm filming every day. What am I talking about? Flying out tomorrow. So peace.